in fact, Danny Bonaduce, life coach, taking your phone calls at 1-800-252-1025. Also taking your emails at lifecoach@KZOK.com. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Yes?
We're going to start with an email.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to get your attention.
Oh, you did.
Emails are piling up. 800-252-1025 to call the Life Coach or email lifecoach@KZOK.com. So we've got an email from Cheryl in Seattle.
All right.
I am very attracted to a coworker. The problem is he's married. They don't have any kids. We work very closely together. Occasionally we go out for coffee and lunch. He complains constantly about how his wife behaves. Now, she hasn't gone so far as to cheat, but he doesn't seem happily married. I would like to let this man know about my feelings for him. I think he knows, I believe he deserves better, and that better could be me. I fear in doing this could break my heart or wreck a marriage. So what do you think?
Well, there's a very good chance it's going to do both. Don't think it's not going to do both. Here's the thing. When this guy's talking about his wife, let's just assume you're an attractive young lady. What do you think, what possibly makes you think he's giving you a fair assessment of his wife? He wants you to feel for him. He wants you to like him. I would not hear, let's say I'm working with Sarah every day. Oh, wait, I do. But I want Sarah to dig me. So what am I going to do? I'm going to say, my wife is so awesome. She's pretty and she's understanding. No, I'm going to say, it's tough at home. I'm not sure there's a lot of spark left in the relationship anymore because she does this and she kind of ignores me and she ignores my needs. I'm going to work my way in that way. So don't think for a moment that you're automatically getting a fair assessment of this guy's relationship, or you're getting a fair assessment of the wife. I think all you got to do, the answer is kind of clear to me, but I just want you to know you're not necessarily moving in on a bad marriage. You're moving in on a conversation this guy has with other women. I think you should make your feelings known for this guy, but like I said, don't think, I'm doing this because he needs me to. He doesn't need you. All married people talk like that about their wives or about their husbands. It's just, why would you have conversation around the office unless it's your birthday? She was so fabulous yesterday. Like I said, you're a cute girl. He's telling you what he thinks you need to hear. I think he probably already knows your feelings. And by the way, if you think about it, you know his. So walk cautiously into this. But yes, make your feelings known for sure. You have every single right, but you're not... he needs you to help him out. It's a bad marriage. It's probably not a bad marriage. It's just something that you're going to move in because you'd like to. But you have that right. So move on in if you want to. Tell him. But be very careful. He may not react as well as you think he's going to react.
And at the end of the day, it's still having a clandestine affair with a married man.
If she gets the affair. See, I got to back up the caller or the emailer on this. Now, I just don't think it's going to go the way she thinks it's going to go. I don't think he's having a problem with his marriage. I think he's a relatively happily married man that's talking smack about his wife to the office girl and seeing which way it goes. Mm-hmm. But don't worry about, I'm not going to break up this perfectly happy marriage. You're not. If it was a happy marriage, you couldn't break it up. So go ahead and make your feelings known.
If you've got a question for the Life Coach, 800-252-1025 is the number to call, or email lifecoach@KZOK.com. Gary in Bellevue, you're on with Danny.
Hey, Gary, what's up, buddy?
Not too much. I got a good friend, and his girlfriend lives back in Michigan, and then she comes out all the time, and she's kind of involved with my ex-girlfriend and my current girlfriend and kind of throwing me under the bus
right
a little bit. And I'm not sure if I should just kind of let it go or talk to my friend about it, because I don't want to alienate him, right?
Right. You certainly, that's the thing when this kind of thing happens. If you feel like you're going to alienate your buddy, buddies are really important. And I was going to say, I don't know that girls often know how important guys are to us, but they are really important to us. So what's the downside of telling him his girlfriend's getting all up in my business?
Well, I guess I would worry about him getting upset and not wanting to see me, but I don't know if that's really that realistic.
It isn't that realistic. He's not, just for telling him, hey, she's bugging me hanging out with my old girlfriend. Don't make a bunch of demands on him, that's for sure. You got to stop seeing these people and stop seeing those people. Don't do that. But if you want to make it known, go ahead. But I would suggest you weather this storm. She goes back to wherever she's from as often as, well, even more often than not, because she's got to get back there and got to go to work. The big thing on this is I say weather it a little bit longer and see how it shakes out, because she is out of town for a lot of this. And if she keeps doing it for a long time, you make it known to your buddy, but you let everybody know all of this comes last compared to your friendship. That's a very important step you got to take, that nothing is more important than us being brothers, man. So don't pick the situation over your friend, and I think he'll take care of it. Thanks for the call, Gary.
If you have a question for the life coach, this would be a great time to call 800-252-1025. And as you can tell, listening to the life coach, it's any kind of problem.
Any kind of problem at all.
Relationship, work, diet, exercise, kids. 800-252-1025. Linda in Bellevue has sent an email to lifecoach@kzok.com.
What's her name?
Linda. I've been seeing this guy for a few dates, and we just had our first disagreement. We went out for dinner, and he stiffed the waiter on the tip. He left nothing but zeros on the tip line. I'm a consistent 20% tipper.
You and me both.
For bad service, I might drop it to 10%. But he left nothing.
And he did it on purpose. It's not a mistake. He wrote zeros on the tip line.
He wrote zeros.
Okay.
She said, what's worse in my eyes is he didn't complain to our server or the manager, which I found to be a bit passive-aggressive. Whose side are you on in our tipping dispute?
Is there another side? Are there two sides on this? The guys.
Some people think if it's really bad service, you leave nothing.
Did she say, because I was listening for it, but maybe I missed it, did she say it was really bad service?
Well, she said he didn't complain to our server or the manager, which I found passive-aggressive. So something must have been wrong.
Yeah, I got to tell you, you absolutely, if you don't ask the waiter. I didn't tell you about this. It happened on Saturday. I went to a fast food Chinese restaurant place near my house. One of those little places you never think anything of it. I walked in, and there's almost nothing in any of those trays you get to pick from. And I said, are you going to refill those trays soon? And he said, yeah, but we have a menu. Gave me a menu that I thought was really good. I didn't know they served all these different things, dumplings and stuff like that at a fast food place. So I ordered it, and he goes, it'll be about 10 minutes. And so I went out to my car, I listened to the radio, and I came back in, another 15 minutes passed. That's now 25 minutes. And I said, hey, man, what's happening with my food? And he said, it's coming right up. And I said, no, you got to give it to somebody else. And I walked out. But I hadn't put it on there I told the guy about his service before it happened. I gave him a chance. So, yeah, I would never I would go out of my way to tip zeros. That says something about your boyfriend. And, I'm not going to say over one day in your relationship and your first disagreement that's going to paint how the rest of your relationship is going to go. But that says something about what kind of guy he's going to be. So I don't think you should judge on it, but keep your eyes open to what's going to come from that now, because he's going to do something like that again. And I don't think you're going to dig it this early on in the relationship, but it is not I got to break up with this guy kind of thing. Just keep your eyes open from now on. And to answer your question, I side with you.
800-252-1025. That's the number for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach, or email lifecoach@kzok.com. Remember, you can be anonymous, you can be Becky, you could be Steve. We have an anonymous email.
All right, I love
those. In Seattle.
Because it usually means they're going to be scandalous.
Yeah.
My husband wants to retire and move to another state. We were both born and raised in the same town. Our families, our children, our grandchildren all still live here. Although I love the idea of starting something new, I'm scared to death to leave my family and start all over. How do you make new friends? How do you make it through the guilt of leaving your family behind? What's the best way to make a big move like this and feel good about it?
Well, here's the thing on that. I envy you as long as you're doing it at the right time. Like, I got a great job and great friends. I'm not going anywhere. But if there was something better for me and my family down the road and I had to make a clean break, I would do that. But here's the things you're saying, you're going to make this break like you're never going to see them again. There are such things called airplanes. You're not abandoning families and jobs and things jobs, yeah, you are. But yeah, you have every right to start anew, and I envy you. I think it sounds awesome to start anew. So I don't think with phones and computers and airplanes, you have to leave anybody behind. And I think anybody that really likes you will say, God bless them. They made a clean break and got to start life all over again, because everybody secretly thinks about doing that. And I would say strike while the iron's hot. If you have the capability of doing that, you should definitely do it. And when I say don't look back, that means in the sense of not going. Look back for friends and things like that, but you should go for absolutely sure, and you'll be very happy that you did.
I feel that guilt all the time with my father being in Boston. Seattle and Boston are far.
Far.
And
far as you can get, pretty much.
Yeah. And my brother in Florida is always like, oh, come visit. I'm like, well, first of all, you live in Florida.
Yeah.
That is as far as you can get. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not coming to visit you in Florida.
Because it's too far?
It's too
or just
far.
because it's Florida?
It is Florida.
It is Florida.
A little bit of both.
We have time for another, don't we?
We do indeed. And if you wanted to call, you still can. 800-252-1025. Lisa in Seattle sent an email. My husband and I were at a wedding reception recently, and I overheard my husband asking the groom if a couple they know at work are still dating. My husband didn't know I was standing there. The groom got a startled look on his face and glanced at me when he heard my husband ask about this couple. Do you think I have something to be concerned about? I would ask my husband about it, but he would tell me what the right answer is that I want to hear, not necessarily the truth. It wouldn't be the first time he's lied. Our marriage is stale, and we have some unresolved issues.
All right. Well, I appreciate that I'm sorry that your marriage is stale and that you have unresolved issues. I'm going to say pure curiosity on that one. You don't ask a loaded question at a wedding with it, knowing his wife was somewhere in the room. I don't think you have anything to worry about on that. I think that was an honest question.
Do you think she's being paranoid because the groom was looking at her?
I do think you're being paranoid. You know, he probably wants an update for whatever reason he wants an update. Now I'm going to give you more credit than you actually asked for. I've said this before. I'm very interested in what my ex-wife is doing. Not because there's any feelings like that. I was just with her 18 years. She's the mother of my children. Sometimes you wonder, is she making good moves where my kids are concerned? Is not selling the house a good idea? I'm concerned. So I think, you know, she's with a guy named Kevin right now. If I heard somebody asking somebody about my ex-wife, I'd say, oh, is she still dating that guy? Because I think I have a right to know, and I think it's maybe the best thing for my kids. I think he's just asking a legitimate question. Hey, are they still dating? And for this, you have nothing to worry about.
Well, so what do you think, though, when somebody new comes into the building? For example, on Friday, a brand new girl came into the studio, and everybody's face is like, oh.
Was she hot?
Will's like, who's that? Oh, is she dating anyone?
With
Yeah, don't let, she works here. So let's be nice with our descriptions.
She's hot. How can you not be nice?
Well, he was going to be more descriptive to explain who she was.
Oh, yeah, because she was ample.
Very attractive girl. And Will's like, oh, who's that? So I could see Will then saying, hey, Olivia, the elder, do you know, is Becky?
He's still working with Becky?
Is Becky dating anybody? Is Becky still dating Billy Bob?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of curiosity. It's nothing to worry about. And I feel your pain there, Will.
Yeah.
You feel he wants to date Becky.
Well, he's not gonna. I can tell you right now, that's just not going to work out for
So
anybody.
is Will going to have to call the life coach tomorrow when it returns at 7:30?
I'm in love with a coworker who doesn't know I exist. Oh my God. What can you do about it? Yeah.
I don't know what to do because I live in the basement of my mom's house. It's on sheets on my twin bed.
Actually, you know what? That's a fair question, really. You meet a hot new girl. At what point do you go, hey, I live with my mom?
It came up on Life Coach a couple of days ago as I have an STD and like when is the right time to tell?
Yeah.
So when is the right time for Will to tell a prospective date that he lives at home with his mom?
The same exact time, right after sex.
Good luck with that, so he'll never tell them.
Okay, I don't remember. Oh!
Same level as STD?
Yes. I would think that you live with your mother or an STD. Having an STD is better.
Yeah, you get a shot for that.
Yes, just wear something. There's no shot you can get that all of a sudden makes mom disappear.
Oh, but his mom's hot.
His mom is hot.
I think that's all the time we have for Life Coach.
Okay, that's all the time we have for Life Coach today, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you very much for your phone calls and for your emails. Life Coach was brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.